Hey, howdy, and a big welcome back to Clem Hawks, folks. I am Yak, and this is your latest on MLB rumors here today on the channel as we find ourselves solely, 4, 5, 6 days away from the MLB trade deadline now. And of course, things definitely heating up as we approach that August 2nd deadline, and it's going to be a good one. Because right now, the big talk, of course, is Juan Soto. You got Luis Castillo out there as well. You got Andrew Benintendi, right? Anyone the New York Yankees are basically linked to, that's who you got out there, big names. And it is a big name mess out there in the MLB right now, especially specifically because of Juan Soto. What I want you to do right now, though, before we get into the whole discussion, is I want you to take the next 5, 10 minutes, whatever it takes me to get through this. Consider sticking around, Clem Hawks. Consider subscribing and hanging out with us a little bit more here as the trade deadline goes along. And then, of course, listen to what I got for the rest of the video here. Juan Soto, I've said his name 5 or 6 times already in this video. And why is that? Because we've got a dark horse team, according to MLB Network, coming into the fray for Juan Soto. We'll get to Luis Castillo soon, but it looks like, there's one team that could really go out there and make a move, according to Steve Phillips, that would not necessarily hurt them as much as a lot of other teams would be hurt by going out and trading for Juan Soto. And that is, my friends, the Seattle Mariners, who have been really heating up over the past month. This quote, according to an MLB Network tweet from Steve Phillips, I think Seattle is best situated to make a deal and not hurt themselves much to land a big bat in a star like Juan Soto. So that's not necessarily, yes, the Mariners are going to land Juan Soto and it's not going to cost them too much because they have a lot to offer. That's not exactly how that quote reads. However, that quote reads enough that for the Mariners, Juan Soto is fully and should fully expected to be on the table as a trade option as we near the trade deadline over the next little bit, right? Juan Soto's one of those guys who probably by the 30th starts ending up sitting every single game until something is resolved at the trade deadline. So that's where you have to be very careful right now if you are Juan Soto, is you don't want to get hurt and hurt your chances of going to a contender, because we all know the Washington Nationals aren't a great team right now, but at the same rate too, how much do you want to drive up that price if you're trying to leave the Nationals on the best terms possible, if you get where I'm going? That's kind of the dang if you do, dang if you don't for Juan Soto right now. But my friends, that's Juan Soto. That's simply put, that's 3 minutes on Juan Soto, explaining that now the Seattle Mariners are a dark horse team simply because it's not going to cost them everything, bankrupt the farm system, to get a guy with the caliber talent of Juan Soto. Now you move forward to Luis Castillo, who we're also talking about in the video as you saw in the title. And Luis Castillo is, MLB Network did a whole little panel on it earlier today, pretty much just going over his four-seam fastball, his pitch attack weapons, and all that, and kind of looking at what kind of a threat Luis Castillo is versus other teams. And as they dove into it, there's an interesting facet where two AL West teams are among the worst teams in baseball against the four-seam fastball. But then you go down the list, and there are two teams from the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Baltimore Orioles, who are also among the worst teams in the MLB against the four-seam fastball. So for the Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Orioles, and Red Sox, all of who somehow, some way, currently have a good shot at the playoffs, because the worst team in the division is 500 in the Red Sox, is they all have a shot, and they know that at least 40% of the division struggles hitting a fastball like Luis Castillo commands on the mound currently for the Cincinnati Reds. He will be going through his final start here tonight, or I think tomorrow. I'm not sure when his final start is. I heard it in the video. Do you think I can remember it? Probably not. But you get where I'm going, right? It's one of those things of, if you can see a matchup advantage like that right out of the gate, and right, you're the Rays, you're the Orioles, and you struggle against it, why not beef it up knowing that at least one other team in your division struggles, and you know the metrics for everybody else in the division probably not so great either. So for any team in the AL East, and that's where this really goes, is Louis Castillo to the Blue Jays, to the Yankees, to the Rays, Red Sox, Orioles. There is a ton of potential there for both the player and team to succeed, because I honestly think if you're a betting man, any team coming out of the AL East is your favorite out of the American League, 100%. Right? The Yankees are guaranteed to be the monsters of the AL this year, but if another team can somehow come out of the AL East, I don't know if you can certainly bet on the Yankees to be the team to go to the World Series and win the World Series, right? If somebody else in the AL East gets out there, I think they've got just as good of a shot as the Yankees if they can get past the New York Yankees at some point on the way to the World Series. So, folks, I'm Yak. This is Clem Hawks. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. What I want you to do is take a few minutes, ponder in the comments section Juan Soto to the Seattle Mariners and what that would mean in terms of changing the dynamic in the AL West. And then secondarily to that, looking at the dynamic over in the AL East, where for everybody involved that needs a pitcher, right? You could see 5 teams empty out the farm system a little bit to get Louis Castillo of the Cincinnati Reds. So, folks, that's it. That's all from me. Let me know what you're thinking, and I will catch you in the next one.